Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and I'm a Preventative Conservator at the Royal Armouries. Unlike my colleague Jamie, an interventive conservator you met earlier in the series, it is my responsibility to ensure measures are in place that prevent the deterioration of the collection in the first instance. This involves making sure the environment, so relative humidity, temperature and light, are all correct. I'm also responsible for the integrated pest management programme, so this involves me going around the site, checking all the pest traps, making sure that there's nothing in them that could pose a threat to the objects, and monitoring the numbers to make sure that there's no signs of an infestation. I'm also responsible for the quarantine procedures and processes, so this means that anything coming into the museum that's going into collection areas and that's made of organic materials goes through a treatment to get rid of the pests. So that's either a freeze treatment, or we can simply wrap the object up, leave it for a length of time, and then check the wrappings to make sure that there's nothing in them. I helped create the Field Across the Gold exhibition by providing environmental requirements for each of the objects going on display to ensure its preservation while in the exhibition. Recommended light levels were particularly important, as this would determine where the designers could put additional lighting. Later in the process, I would work with the electrician while he was putting the lights in place to make sure that the light levels were correct for the objects and make any alterations if necessary. Before construction could even begin, I tested the materials that the designers wanted to use as part of the exhibition. This test is known as an Oddy test and shows if a material will cause damage to an object. The most difficult thing I had to do when creating the Field Across the Gold exhibition was to find alternative construction materials when those suggested by the designers failed. In order to go into an exhibition, the material needs to pass Oddy test, but this test, it takes a month to get results. So with short deadlines, it meant that we had to look at other lists that were available and consult them to find an appropriate material that worked both for the designer's vision for the overall exhibition when completed, but also worked from a conservation perspective, as the preservation of the objects is key. The best thing I did while working with this exhibition was to work alongside other departments, especially the facilities department. Their knowledge of the building infrastructure has helped me gain a better understanding of the gallery spaces, and this information can really benefit my work in terms of lighting levels and also pest management, as it's brought out all those little nooks and crannies that could be a potential breeding ground and safe haven for pests. When the exhibition goes live, or when the exhibition opens, you should look out for any of the armour that's made for both humans and horses. One of my favourite things about armour is its ability to tell you the size of whoever it was intended for, whether that be someone who's smaller in comparison to men today, or someone who was a bit bigger for the period in terms of Henry VIII. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to listen to this video. I hope you found it interesting. Next up is my colleague Mark Jackson, who's Events and Informal Learning Manager. If you've got any questions for us, any of us who have been part of this series, then please leave a comment with your question and we will try and answer them as best we can. Thanks again and keep safe.